Hi, I'm Siam Pascal from the Light Collective, and welcome to this tutorial on Uddhiyana Bhanda. If pranayama tutorials and yoga practices are something that you're interested in, I suggest you hit subscribe on our channel and we will send to you all the different types of practices that we do on the regular. If this is something that you're interested in teaching or going into in more depth, head to our website where you can see all of our trainings and courses. So let's move straight into it. Uddhiyana Bhanda translates in Sanskrit to upward flying lock. In fact, this is a bandha, technically one of the three Mahabandhas or great locks in the body. So even though I describe it as being a pranayama or a breath practice, it is in fact a key lock, and its power and potency is not just physical, but it is highly energetic. It is one that I love to teach, but it can be a bit of a challenge to teach. And so I've created this tutorial so that you have a little bit of time and space to get it right and feel into it in your own body. When we work with Uddhiyana Bhanda, we are creating a long exhalation retention. So I advise before you start doing this practice, make sure you haven't eaten or you haven't had too much to drink in the half an hour before the practice. A couple of contraindications. If you are in the early stages of pregnancy or pregnant, I don't recommend you do this practice. If you have glaucoma, eye issues, or you've had any severe stomach issues like stomach cancer or had any operations around your stomach, best not to do this practice. Wait until you are fully healed. However, I do recommend most people do this practice because it has so many benefits. First of all, it does help to heal the gut, but on top of that, it is amazing if you have depression, anxiety, if you need to build confidence in your body, if you have big projects that you need to get out into the world. This practice is a way for you to really activate your fire center, Manipura chakra. It is also a key tantric breath. It allows you to start to understand, shift, and control your energy. And this, in fact, is what pranayama means. Prana meaning life force, yama meaning the control of. Pranayama practices are allowing us to use the breath to learn to control our energy, our mood, our state of consciousness. I begin this practice when I teach it on all fours, but I'm going to give you a few variations as to how to feel into and experience the Uddhiyana Bhanda lock. I'll talk through the instructions on this practice and then demonstrate it. I start on all fours when I teach this normally. It's the easiest way for a lot of students to access Uddhiyana Bhanda. We start with a long inhalation. And as we exhale, we push the hips back to the heels and empty the breath out of the mouth, making a shushing sound. From here, we hold the exhalation. We don't breathe in, and we rise up onto all fours. This is where the lock happens, Uddhiyana Bhanda. We don't engage the stomach muscles. Remember, don't engage the stomach muscles. Don't actively try and draw the stomach in. Rather, see if you can try and take a false inhalation. It will mean you're constricting the throat, and rather than breathing in, you constrict and you hold the breath here. What happens is, as you pretend to breathe in or take a false inhale, the ribcage expands, and when there's no breath drawing in, something needs to fill that expansion. So, hence the upward flying lock. All of the viscera and tissue of the stomach start to fly upwards into the chest cavity, leaving a hollowing effect at the navel center. We hold this lock. We hold this hollow navel. It will be almost effortless to create the activation in the stomach for as many counts as you can. What is challenging is holding the breath here. So I recommend, as you get started, really only hold the breath for about 4 or 5 seconds. The next important thing to do is to relax the stomach or push the belly out. Make it neutral before you inhale. When you inhale, you will really want the inhalation. If you don't really want that inhale and don't have a certain desperation to that inhalation, you haven't held the exhale. It's okay. Keep trying until you do it. We then hold the inhalation retention for the same amount of time that we held the exhale retention. So at the start, maybe 4 or 5 seconds. Then we release and let it go. I will demonstrate this practice for you. A couple of things. It doesn't matter how big or small your stomach is. You can do this practice. So I can really relax my stomach, let it all out, make sure it's soft, and sure enough, when I do Uddhiyana Bhanda, there is still a really strong hollowing effect. So even if you have weight or you are fuller at the stomach, you can still do this practice. My yoga teacher was somewhere out here and he could do it fully. The second thing is there is a difference between engaging the stomach and trying to draw it in, or allowing the stomach to be totally relaxed and trying to create this false inhalation experience. So I sometimes see this in students. And this is where they're engaging. You can still see there is a little bit of an activation, but it's not Uddhiyana Bhanda. The difference is there is a strong hollowing like this. Hopefully you can see the difference. It is effortless for some students. For others, it takes a bit of work because they're so used to engaging the core and bringing a lot of effort into the practice. If you practice this a few times with this tutorial and can't get it, I recommend you trying it in downward dog. I'll do this with you now. When we're in downward dog, there is a sense that it can be easier for some students because of the nature of the gravitational pull. The stomach can more effortlessly move into hollowing. Let's take downward dog. Take a breath in the nose. Empty out of the mouth. Take Uddhiyana Bhanda. You can try that again. Take a deep breath in the nose, empty, and sort of push the body towards the thighs. Hold the exhale, create the false inhale, and allow the navel to naturally hollow, to lift upwards. Upward flying lock. The belly is as though it's flying up into the chest cavity. Neutralize the stomach and inhale. Hold the inhalation and exhale, release back onto all fours. You can play around with these two variations. The full practice is in fact done standing, but it can be a little more challenging for new students. I usually teach this final and full variation last because the position you have to be in is here. Bending the knees, fingers facing in, all of the weight resting on the thighs. Arms need to be locked and shoulders draw in towards the ears. This allows the stomach to be really relaxed here. So when you bring all of your weight into this position, you can take full Uddhiyana Bhanda and create the complete hollowing. I invite you, as I do this explanation, to stay here. Get the muscle memory going in this pose, because it is the part of this breath practice that it seems most people can't get. They're just not used to bringing their shoulders up by their ears. Maybe there's something going on proportionately, but whenever I teach it, students get all weird with this one. So just stay here. Kind of learn how to be in this pose. What we do here is take a full inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. Exhale, fold forward, empty the breath, hold the exhalation, rise up into this pose. Belly soft, exhale held, create the lock. False inhale at the throat. Hold here for around about 5 seconds. Neutralize the stomach. Inhale. You'll really want that inhale. Hold the inhalation, again for an equal count, about 5 seconds. And then exhale, release up to standing. I'll demonstrate the first round. Let's have a play together. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, empty the breath. Hold the exhale, don't breathe in. Rise up into the squat position. Take the false inhale. Let the navel effortlessly fly inward and upward. Hold the breath. Focus the awareness at the stomach. Neutralize the belly. Inhale. Hold the inhalation. Now exhale, up to standing. Another round. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, empty the breath. Come into your squat position. Don't breathe in. Upward flying lock. Neutralize the belly. Inhale. Hold the inhalation. And exhale, up to standing. Keep playing with this practice until you get it. I want to again reiterate, we're not engaging the stomach and drawing it in. It's as though we're trying to breathe in, but we're locking at the throat. So the lock at the throat feels a little bit like when you inhale and make the sound, that horrible sound. I used to make that as a kid and my mum would get really angry at me. But you lock here and it's like you're encouraging a breath in, but because you're locked, no breath is coming into the lungs. So the stomach cavity sucks inward and upwards like this. Notice how as my lungs expand, something has to move into that cavity. The stomach flies upward. The last aspect to this teaching, it is a big teaching, is that we are working with a focus of the mind and energy, and this is where it becomes a tantric practice. This is very powerful, especially for men who are wanting to work with cultivating life force energy. When we take the full inhale, we enjoy a big full breath. When we empty, we release and let go as much as possible. As we hold the exhale retention and hold Uddiyana Bandha, the focus is on the navel center and creating a fire here. This is the alchemical chakra in the body. It allows us to create change. Focus on creating a fire at the navel center. And the way that you can do this with Uddiyana Bandha is by holding the exhale for a beat or two longer than you want to. So there'll be a moment in the practice where you'll think, I need to breathe in, otherwise I'm going to die. Hold it for 1, 2. The fire will turn on then. Then, when you neutralize the stomach, we do this to stop that sound happening. When we breathe in, the focus of the mind, the movement of the energy, is on taking any heaviness or strong energy at the lower centers and inhaling, drawing it up the body. Now, you might want to draw it up the body and back into the navel center. I did this for a good year or two. This creates confidence and charisma, power in the body. Or on that inhale, you might like to inhale, draw the energy up to the heart or the third eye. And as you hold the inhale, you really store the energy in this energetic center in the body. Hold it for the same period of time as you held the exhale. And then exhale up to center. So this is the energetic overlay, which is key to understanding and experiencing this practice. I go into much more depth in the Light Collective method, which is a yoga teacher training, if you're wanting to go into a great deal more depth. But otherwise, this is a really comprehensive tutorial that I hope will get you feeling more confident and able to practice this very powerful tantric breath and lock, Uddiyana Bandha.